Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be talking about my new short film called Droid. In the past, I've filmed a lot of BTS for all my short films because I've always wanted to share the journey. But I usually make the short film and then I release the BTS. And I've decided that I don't want to do that, especially since it's quarantine. I have a lot of time in my house, and I've decided that I'm going to start making a short film and release the behind the scenes as sort of a journey series, and then we can all be excited about the release together. So I've started an idea that I'm working on, and I'm really excited about it. It's temporarily called Droid, and that's what these videos are going to be called, but I'm not sure if that will be the actual title of the short film. So I decided that I would sort of start by pitching it to you guys and telling you my initial idea, and then I wanted to talk about pre-production and planning for a short film. So I'll read to you some of my ideas. The title, Droid. The log line. In case you don't know what a log line is, it is a description of your movie in as few sentences as possible. So here goes. A young couple buys a droid that looks identical to the husband, Kurt, in order to perform all of his work and duties. When the droid starts imitating Kurt too well, the family becomes suspicious of it. And here's like a basic synopsis of my initial idea. Kurt and Heather, a couple, buy a droid. The droid looks exactly like Kurt, and with a download of his brain patterns and memories, it should be able to work and perform exactly like Kurt, allowing him to enter early retirement while maintaining his career. As the droid begins to show a lack of moral character and a knack for being extremely creepy, Kurt has to decide whether artificial intelligence can really be trusted. So that's my idea, and that is the basis of what these next few videos are going to be about. I'm going to share my journey as I film and direct. One of the things I'm most excited about, there's going to be a lot of post-production work because I am going to be playing myself and the droid. So I'm not sure exactly how well I'm going to pull this off, but basically I'm going to show you how to duplicate yourself in one single shot. So I can be on one side of the camera, hit record, do my lines on one side of the frame, and then move over here, do the opposite character's lines on the other side of frame, and then do a mask and make it look like I'm talking to myself. I am excited about the challenge, but this definitely has the potential to be either really cool or really terrible. So get ready. The real beauty of this short right now is that we are still quarantined. LA has not opened up, the film industry has not opened up, and so my goal is to always be working, always be learning, and that's what you guys should be doing as well. Don't wait until you feel ready, don't wait until you're a professional, don't wait until you feel like you're ready to get paid for it. Greenlight yourself and go. And that's something that I've decided to end all of these videos with. If you've ever seen the show Project Greenlight, in Hollywood, if a project that you're working on gets greenlit, that means that it's fully backed and that we're ready to start filming. So I want to encourage you guys, even if you're sitting at home filming yourself, don't wait until you feel ready or until you've been greenlit. Greenlight yourself. So let's talk about planning your short. I want to talk about first coming up with an idea. I'll tell you how I came up with this idea. The other night, I watched Vivarium on Amazon Prime. It is this really cool feature film. It's basically about this couple who gets trapped in a maze of suburban identical homes, and they can't escape, they can't find a way out, and every time they try to leave, they realize it's sort of looped them back around to this house, number 9. Not only that, but then a child appears at their doorstep along with daily food, and they're forced to raise the child, who grows up at an extremely fast rate. And I don't want to give away any spoilers, but what I liked about this movie most is the way they lit a lot of the shots, the way they filmed it, the way even a lot of the visual effects play out. This world feels just close enough to being real, but somehow slightly off. And the same with the child. It's human-like to the point where you're easily fooled, but just not right. And I decided that that is one of the things that makes me most terrified. That's one of the things that I feel is most scary or suspenseful, is when something feels close enough to being safe or human or real, but it's just slightly off enough to make you feel suspicious. And I loved that about this movie. So that brings me into my first point, and that is to steal. The goal should never outrightly be to steal, that would be wrong, but the suggestion is made so that you can ingest and digest any content to learn and glean from it. So when you read a book, when you watch television, when you look at paintings, you should be able to see ways that you can copy it for cinematography tips, lighting tips. In fact, a lot of cinematographers paint for that sole reason. And for me, when I'm directing, even when I'm watching a movie with cool audio effects or visual effects, I'm taking notes so that I can understand why I like it, why it works well, and hopefully learn from it enough to be able to perform something similar. So when I watched Vivarium, I was taking notes, and I loved the idea of having something human-like, like the droid, that looks identical to his human counterpart, Kurt, but is just slightly off enough to make you feel suspicious or creeped out. And so I'm hoping that Droid will be a cool suspense thriller. So all that to say, you should be stealing from other artists that you respect. Another way to brainstorm is to think in the shower. This is something that Ryan Connolly talks about on Film Riot all the time. He says, whenever I'm in the shower, I can think better. I've definitely tried that, and I think what is cool about that idea is creating a space where you have white noise. In the shower you can't hear much, and so I feel it's easier to think. In fact, sometimes when I'm sleeping with a fan on, I can brainstorm easier because I'm just not hearing the noises that normally distract me. The white noise is calming, and my imagination and creativity, I feel like, comes alive. I really like driving and just sort of clearing my head. If you just want to be creative, I go for a drive, and a lot of times my imagination comes alive. Another really cool way to brainstorm your ideas is a dream journal. It's really hard a lot of times to remember your dreams after you've had them, but if you have a dream journal right by your bed, a lot of times you can wake up and immediately remember and write down what you just dreamt. I had one in college for a time, and I was surprised at how much I was able to jot down as quickly as possible. As soon as I got up, immediately you're still in that headspace and you can remember quite a bit of it. Otherwise, an hour later, I'll try and tell my wife, Grace, oh, I had this really cool dream, let me tell it to you, and I usually can't remember as much. Speaking of spouses, you can ask friends or family or your wife or husband if they can help you brainstorm ideas. A lot of times I'll bounce ideas off of Grace, or she'll come to me and say, I had a really cool idea, what do you think of it? And we'll bounce ideas off of each other, and a lot of times it can be really helpful. Either way, I would highly recommend that you have some sort of journal that you always have at the ready in your backpack or in your car or by your nightstand, that you can jot ideas in, because a lot of times ideas will come to you and they'll go just like that. So I am often writing down just scribbles of little ideas that I have, and that often works into a storyboard or a treatment, or even just a quick little script that I write just for the fun or the practice of it, just to get it down on paper and see what comes of it. Ideas are key. They come to you like little bolts of lightning, and you don't want to lose them or waste them. Super valuable. This journal is super helpful. It's from Michaels. It's a hardcover, and it's almost full, and as you can see, the front has fallen off and the binding is pretty tore up. I use this thing like crazy, and I have written a ton of ideas in it. I think with my next journal, I'm going to get either a ring-bound book or something that's maybe going to hold up a little better as I carry it everywhere with me. But either way, I would suggest getting something big that you can not only write a lot of your ideas in, but also I draw in this, oftentimes storyboarding. I don't know if you can see that, but storyboarding is helpful. So I can, on one page, be writing my storyboard ideas, and on the next page, I can be drawing. I know a lot of people like to use apps for storyboarding, and the same with shot listing, but I actually feel like it's really helpful to write my ideas down with a pad and pen. It's just something about the physical action of it that I feel like I'm able to be more creative. So whatever works for you, I just break the page down into frames, and I draw anything from stick figures, or I try and be a little more artistic and at least figure out shading and where I might have a light. If you find it more helpful to write it down in notes or some sort of app and then start shot listing that way, by all means. But this has helped me, so I would definitely suggest having a journal with you. If you're excited about Droid, the short film, then please like this video, comment on it, and make sure that you subscribe. Hit the little ding bell, but there is more coming. The next videos will be on production, how I set up lighting, and how I shoot this short. And finally, I will publish a cut of this short film and probably even release the script. You'll be able to see how I did everything from start to finish, and hopefully you'll be able to learn. So I will see you all in the coming videos where I'll be showcasing my journey. Get excited for the short film coming soon, Droid. And in the meantime, greenlight yourself and go.